Hey, this is Paul Sifko with Selene Yachts Americas. We're here in Zhuhai at the shipyard, and I'm here with Brian Purdy, who is the owner of 6048, a classic 60 that is in build right now. And we're going to ask Brian some questions, and he is going to give us a tour of his boat.
Very exciting.
Yeah, so you've been here before?
No, so this is my first time to Asia, period. I've never been here. I'm loving being in China. Very much different than I thought, very much different than the portrayal that we get in the United States. Howard Chen, the owner of Selene Yachts, has been gracious enough to let me come in here and has really given us carte blanche on the factory, all over the yard to look at what we want to look at. Getting to see my boat in process is a dream come true for me. So I'm very much looking forward to bringing you through so you can see what I'm faced with and what I'm getting. I'm going to take you on board now. Just a little disclaimer. Workers at the yard are at lunch. It is very much a work in progress. So there are tools, there are various fans and things like that to keep the workers cool in there, ductwork to bring in air conditioning. We'll be navigating our way through some of those things. So again, this is a boat in production, so you'll see some of the inner workings of how these boats are assembled. Let's head up towards the stern. A very exciting addition here that we see over the last 24 hours is the boot stripe being put on the waterline. It's a pretty big deal, for me anyway. Here we are standing on the swim platform. A design element that was added to this was the addition of, I believe it's 2 extra feet, so an extended swim platform, which makes this area really big and really usable. I do a lot of fishing, so I'm assuming when I'm circumnavigating, I will be hopefully catching fish. And this will be, because of the width, it's an actually safe place to do if you needed to reel in the fish. There will be the stainless steel staples in the back, so you'll be able to stand back here pretty safely, providing that the seas are not anything too big. Below here is a hatch that I believe is going to contain the swim platforms to get out of the water with if you're in the water. This is a watertight bulkhead that goes down into the Lazarett. We'll get to that towards the end of the video. Stairways leading up both sides of the stern. This side over here, I've added a control station, which will have bow and stern thrusters and throttle controls. I'm not sure which side it is, a nozzle for this side for a shower and freshwater wash down. Let's move up into the cockpit. The rod holders that I needed are going to be mounted, I believe, in this cap rail here. There'll be 4 rod holders. I've neglected to add outriggers to the boat. Don't think that's going to work too well, but I will be trolling pretty much nonstop through ocean crossings and things like that. Big fisherman, love the idea of catching fish out in the middle of the Pacific or in the middle of the Atlantic. The plan at this point is I live in the Northeast. I'm going to be hopefully taking delivery somewhere on the East Coast, Northeast, hopefully. My plan is to cruise the boat for 6 to 8 months. Being a brand new boat, I need to work through some of the bugs that might happen, get through a lot of the initial growing pains that boats often go through. Then I'm December 2025-ish, planning to head south towards the Caribbean, down the east coast of the United States, making a few stops, seeing some of the sights on the East Coast, hanging out in the Caribbean for a month or so, weather permitting, doing a couple of different stops down there, making my way to the Panama Canal, transiting the canal. And again, this is all weather dependent, and hurricane season, cyclone season is something that you really need to pay attention to. That's very important for my insurance company for obvious reasons. Transiting the canal. The direction I go from there is still a little bit up in the air, thinking about maybe going up to San Francisco and making the hop over to Hawaii, over to Hilo. But I also might just go right from the canal to the Galapagos, which is, I believe, roughly 800 miles, and then making that jump from there over to the Marquesas, which is a pretty long haul, 3,100 I can't get the exact number. There are different numbers, but it's about 3,000 miles. So that'll be a long trek. From there, it's up in the air. I'm not sure if I want to go up towards Southeast Asia and look in that area, or stay to the south and make it to New Zealand and Australia. A lot of this is dependent on reports from the State Department and the issues of piracy going on. There's some piracy issues in Indonesia, piracy issues off the Philippines. So that'll probably play a major role in that direction. And from there, depending on which location that I go, the northern area or the southern area, wide open at that point. I'd like to maybe get up to India if I have the opportunity to do that. Again, another major decision is going to be, do I go around Good Hope, around South Africa, and add thousands and thousands of miles to my trip? Or do I take the chance of going up through the Suez Canal and all the piracy off of Somalia, Yemen, and things like that? So some pretty important decisions that need to be made. I know that my family is very keen on the decision that I make with that. That remains to be seen. We'll take a look at State Department website and warnings as the time comes. Okay, so this is the stern settee. There'll be a table here. Again, storage here. Selene does a very creative job in finding location for storage. It's just remarkable that any possible location for storage, they find it and they utilize it. On a circumnavigation, I'm going to need spare parts for just about every system on the boat, and I need places to store those. And this certainly fits the bill for that. 2 entry doors on either side. We'll come up the port side walkway towards the bow. Port side entrance into the pilot house with a Dutch door. Somewhat of a new design for Selene in the 60s is to add a U-shaped settee up front with a table, which gives them the opportunity to have entry from the Portuguese bridge to the bow on both sides of the Portuguese bridge. Forward raked pilot house windows, cuts down on glare, a really nice touch for blue water passages, long passages. Up front, again, more storage here. There'll be access to more storage from 2 lockers that aren't cut out yet in the forward part of the Portuguese bridge. A hatch here that goes into the VIP stateroom. 2 very deep chain lockers for chain road. And I have ordered the boat with a couple of things. There'll be 2 anchors, 2 windlasses for those anchors. And I'm hoping that they're going to be able to put a chain washer, an automatic chain washer, so that as you pull the chain in, the anchor rode in, it sprays fresh water onto the chain. Kind of a preventative measure for corrosion. We can't go down the starboard side. There's a bunch of air conditioning vents, wires, and hoses. So we'll head back down to the cockpit and up to the boat deck. Molded in stairway going up to the boat deck. A late addition for me, actually. I had initially wanted to have just a ladder here, but I was talked into having something a little bit safer when you're out in the seas. Having the opportunity to go up steps as opposed to a ladder is probably a better choice. Reason number 7,926 for me to choose a Selene is this football-sized boat deck and bridge. When I first saw Coffee Break down at the Stewart Trawler Fest and Paul brought me up to the Flybridge and boat deck area, I was astounded at the amount of space that I saw. Now you close it in a little bit with an enclosure and railings and things like that. It still looks absolutely massive. And again, another major selling point for Selene, there is storage everywhere. Storage over here behind the Flybridge seating, which I think I'm going to be putting an ice maker in the port side. Storage under here, storage. There'll be a sink, a barbecue over here, nice easy access. This is the entryway from the pilot house And the galley is actually right there. So if you're grilling up here, it's very easy to just come up through the pilot house. Nice set of stairs, grill, bring it back down, which leads us to the bridge. A settee here with a table so that you have the opportunity to eat up here. If you're running the boat up here in the Flybridge on a nice day, you can do your lunch, your dinner, whatever it may be. Again, storage. A nice touch that Howard showed me the other day. This is going to be a seat back that folds up. So if you want to just sit here and leisurely lounge up in the bridge, it's a very nice touch.
So Brian, I see some work supplies and different materials out right now. Where are the workers?
The workers are at lunch right now. It's a really remarkable thing. Howard plays a song. This song lasts 10 minutes. It starts at 11:50, and that song is the indication for the workers to start cleaning up their areas and getting things ready for them to go to lunch. At exactly 12 noon, the music goes off. The workers leave. They go do their lunch. And I believe it's a 1:30 return, and then they come back and get to work. The helm area up in the bridge, location for the electronics, the compass, obviously, the wheel here, stainless steel. There'll be 2 Stid helm chairs here, a chart area, I'm assuming right here. There will be a nice hard top on here. It's a new design for Selene with, I believe it's going to be an acrylic inside here with the Selene logo on it. Another major selling point for me. Love the size of this bridge and boat deck.
Right, where to next?
Let's head down into the salon. Okay, so walking in from the cockpit, this is the salon. You're facing forward. An L-shaped settee on this side. There'll be a dining table here, high-low, with a leaf to expand. This is going to be just a sofa here. Forward of that, I've made the decision to get one extra refrigerator, drawer-style refrigerator for cold drinks, and the other side is going to be storage, shelving. Forward of that this is going to be a freestanding dining room table with teak chairs, teak table, which is a nice touch that Selene does. You have the choice. There's so many different locations that you can eat or socialize on this boat. A nice touch is to have the galley up. This is normally where the galley would be if you chose the galley down. And here is going to be a television area. There'll be some storage up here, maybe a little storage on the sides, and then more storage down here. Okay. Right here is a dedicated stairway going down to the master. When we get down there, we'll go over that. Heading up to the Pilothouse and Galley. Just a few wires that we need to try to figure out where they all go. This is going to be the panel for AC and DC, where the magic happens, electric-wise speaking. So this is the galley up, located in a really great spot. If you're on watch and you are hungry, you can come right back here. You can still see out the pilot house windows. Perfect view, able to see the direction you're going, making sure that you're not running into anything. You can still see the electronics while you're making your sandwich or getting a cold drink. Refrigerator, where Paul is standing, there is a location right in the corner there for the cooktop, 4-burner cooktop, the oven down below, a single basin sink where that lockbox is. To the starboard side is going to be a dishwasher. In the middle is a trash compactor and then some drawers here. This is something that I thought was real important when you're on long passage to have, if you want to have people with you up in the bridge. It's a nice little seating area. It's going to have a really small table, but obviously big enough to hold drinks or food or whatever, and they can sit here and talk to you if they're off watch. The location of the stairs leading up to the Flybridge, nice beautiful set of stairs, teak stairs leading up. Another just beautiful design element. And one of the reasons why I like the Selene is because some of the other manufacturers, you need to go outside you would go outside a door to get to the Flybridge. On the Selene, you can just go right up the stairs from the galley or the pilot house, covered by the elements. Both sides of the pilot house are a Dutch door leading out to the port and starboard companionways. Nice for ventilation. Panels for electronics, for gauges and whatnot. Most of the electronics, I'm doing a full Furuno suite on board. So the main multifunction displays will be here. There'll be different analog and digital readouts and displays up top. Obviously the wheel here, and then a full STID captain's chair right in front of the helm. So now let's head down these stairs to the lower bunk area. Heading forward from the stairs from the pilot house, we go into the VIP stateroom, which is a single, roughly queen-size bed. Storage underneath, you can see that there's an area here for some drawers. The bed will raise up so that you can access more storage here. Both sides, port and starboard, there are cedar-lined hanging lockers. There's just so much storage everywhere. They utilize every single possible spot. If you can get this on the steps leading up to the bunk, you can see that there's lines for cutouts. Those are also storage, which is, I don't see a lot of manufacturers utilizing just almost every possible square inch for storage. Here's the hatch leading up, and I'm not sure if you can see it. There is a cutout on the forward side of that, and that is a ladder, a recessed ladder that comes out for another form of egress from the stateroom.
One of the things that I think is also unique, each of these door panels, every section of wood joinery that you see is built right here, and a lot of it's actually constructed right within the boat. So it's very much semi-custom build with craftsmen who've been working in the yard on average for over 15 years.
Yesterday, coming on board, there was a man who was literally assembling these panels in the master, and I can show you where. He had his glue, he had his clamps, and he was doing it right there, making sure that every single drawer fit perfectly. It was amazing to see. Facing the stern is a head with full stand-up shower with a seat in it, the vanity with porthole in the shower, and the head itself. Very nice size. In the process now of picking the materials for all that. Access through the forward VIP stateroom or from this hallway here coming from the port side stateroom, and it could also be used as the day head. The port side stateroom, this is a bunk room, really ingenious design to have the ability to have a desk in here and still ample storage. For me is just a fantastic addition to the layout. Again, here's more storage up top. This upper bunk has a sliding component, and that sliding component comes out to about even with this locker here, and it just widens this berth quite a bit. And if there's nobody sleeping up there, you can give these people, the person who's sleeping here, room to be able to get out and not worry about hitting their head. Hanging locker here, cedar lined, just storage galore. This will be a pocket door, which I think is another fantastic design element. Heading back to the master stateroom, a few small changes that we made. I like a very large bed, so we've added a few inches to the width of this master bed. And on the starboard side, we changed the vanity which was a desk with a mirror and a light and things like that. I generally don't use too much makeup anymore. We've changed this into just drawers for storage. And the interesting thing is that they, like I said earlier, they're all made right here. So this is the location that the craftsman was measuring and assembling the drawers. So not only is he getting the depth as the hull widens, but he's also getting as the hull goes away from you, so you have shorter, less deep drawers towards the bow and longer, deeper drawers towards the aft end of the boat. And just lockers everywhere, storage everywhere. The master head, again, it's a little dark, no lights in there at the moment. Full stand-up shower with seat, vanity, hole in each one, and the location of the head. Moving aft again, this is the location of where the stairs come out from the salon. So you come down here, there's obviously going to be a door here, so it's pretty private space. But you can also access the commissary, the engine room, and the lazarette. So if you want your privacy in the master stateroom, you just close this door, and then anybody that needs to get into the engine room can just come down these stairs and go down into the commissary and into the engine room and lazarette. So this is a little dark in here. So this is the commissary. You can see in this location here, a great workstation, washer and dryer location here, very easily accessible, more storage up top, of course. And in this location, you're going to have more storage and a deep freezer, another location to store food on long passages. The starboard side stabilizer is accessed through this location here, which is going to be a sink, and you can get to the stabilizer through here, and if need be, you can remove the freezer here to have access to maintenance and whatnot on the stabilizer. Port side stabilizer is located in this little closet here. It's an electrical closet. Where all those wires and hoses are, you can see that's the location of the stabilizer. That will have a glass top on it, which is a nice touch. And there'll be some electrical equipment in here as well. And I hate to say it, but this is my favorite space in the boat. The engine room, single engine John Deere, mounted right here, shaft going through the hole here. I have opted, due to my circumnavigation, to have a wing engine installed, which will be mounted right in this location, because I want the ability to have a separate set of running gear. If I, God forbid, hit something in the ocean and it fouls my prop or bends my shaft or something like that, with the hydraulic system, which is a fantastic system, but with that system, there's no redundancy. If I lose my shaft or my prop, I'm stuck in the water. With the wing engine, it's a totally separate system, so that if I lose my main and the running gear, I have the backup with a fully separate set of running gear. Fuel tanks on both sides of the engine room, 1,100 gallons each. There'll be a Northern Lights generator where I'm sitting, which I believe we've moved aft as well to get a little bit more space in here. We've moved the wing engine aft as far as possible so it makes it a little bit more accessible to the backside of the main for normal maintenance or work that needs to be done. I think I'll have roughly 12 inches to get between the wing engine and the main to get back there. I think I can squeeze through 12 inches.
And that level will be more closer to your knee area.
Yeah, yes, it won't be up high, exactly. So it'll be not on the gut area, but on the leg area. The watertight bulkhead will be up forward going into the commissary. And coming back into the lazarette area, another watertight bulkhead there and another one here. Another great feature of the Selene, it's a full stand-up lazarette in certain parts, but also it's finished. And I think that's a really nice touch of it shows just the attention to detail that Selene has. It's beautiful teak inside there. I know some people might say that it's not needed, but it really adds a nice touch. There's a ton of storage back here. Let's go back and take a look. I'm nearly 6 feet tall, and I am standing up straight here. This location, I wouldn't be able to stand up straight, but back here, not a problem. Storage areas all over the place. couple storage areas and access to different systems on either side of the Lazarett. More storage back here. There'll be, obviously, the steering apparatus will be back here. I'm not sure that you can get it, but you can see maybe the tunnel for the stern thruster as well. And finally, the exit for the Lazarett. This is the door that we showed you from the swim platform. A nice watertight bulkhead, watertight door heading onto the swim platform.
And then more storage in the Lazarett. You're going to have tanks, compressor back here.
Yep, dive tanks, compressor. We're trying to stuff it with as many provisions and spare parts as possible with the circumnavigation. I think it's real important, probably the most important thing besides having fuel, to have as many spare parts as possible to be able to take care of anything that goes wrong out there. Redundancy is the name of the game on a passage like this.
Great. Cool.
So that's the tour of 6048, my new vessel for circumnavigating. I will certainly keep everybody posted. I'm planning on having a YouTube channel and maybe a blog to cover my adventures as I go. A big thank you to Howard Chen, Selene Yachts here in Zhuhai, and the team at Selene Yachts Americas for making this all possible. Thanks for your time.
So thank you, Brian.